Hey guys, this is Dardamos with Dardamos Dominions, and we have an army with us today. Balin, how are you doing, dude?
Better.
GC, how are you doing, dude?
Hey man, happy to be here, doing alright.
We have the Statist player, Grippa.
Yellow.
Good looking as always, Mandar.
Hello, hello.
My favorite Australian, Nosy.
G'day, g'day.
And then we have our Airmore player, Novell.
Yo, what's up?
Chipotle, how are you doing, dude?
Here again, and doing pretty well.
And my Sailmaster, Zan, how are you doing, dude?
Hey guys. Good.
Okay, so we're going to zoom over these really quickly. I'm going to try to get 2 turns in, as I say every single time. We have the heroine who we saw last time, and she was actually, it doesn't look like she was successful, but she didn't die, and she took out quite a bit with her. We have another
That's actually a lot. But...
Yeah, it's pretty impressive. We're going to come back to that for sure. We have another raid against Hobergs. We have another raid, or a counter raid. We have a underwater attack again, and we can talk about Ichthyod's versus Shark Tribe. We have another raid, and then we have, hey guys, we got 117 gold. So the first thing I want to hit on is this heroine, because last time we kind of dumped on it a little bit. For being
let's take a hit of heroin.
What? How do you say the word? Mandar, help me out here, dude.
No, you're pronouncing it correctly.
So it's like the drug.
Yes.
Yes.
And we should just lean into it and make all the drug puns we can.
Yeah, it's really just a difference in spelling.
Okay, so, real quick, Nosy, why does this build work against this army?
Well, no magic support, really. Actually, what have they got in the back there?
They had air elementals, and air elemental just dropped.
Oh,
And
so-
she one-shotted
little air
it with
elemental,
her sword,
yeah.
I think.
So to
Little-
let Nosy in
little
on a
area.
little bit of info he's missing, the Vanheim player has no tech since he's been at war since turn 10. He only has con 3.
Oh, right.
With
Okay,
the-
if he's not fighting magic, then that heroine's actually pretty well scripted and geared to take on lots of endless crappy PD and no magic support.
Up, and away. Where does she come down? Oh, snap. Oh.
Ooh, that's a good placement.
Did they script air shield on the thug?
She
I mean, they
didn't
could've.
script air shield on herself. Oh my.
Well, she
No,
does
but
have
she-
32 prod.
Yeah, but crossbows reduced that by 60%.
I mean, she looks
Well,
like
I
she's
don't-
taking some damage.
Our
Yeah,
crossbows,
she's almost dead.
You can also click her and then press V, I believe, to get to that screen.
Yeah.
Oh, can you really? I'll
Yep.
do that real quick. Okay, it's this and V. Oh my. That's awesome.
It's nice living in the future.
learn something. Yeah, so most of those crossbow hits have just been for flat 0 damage.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I mean, she's got such high prot that even crossbows are still rolling like 12 damage versus a net of 15 or 16 prot, I believe. I think
Look
it's
at
like
Should be
probably
down to
14.
about 11 versus 12.
Actually, there's something
casual
odd about
purple
that. Why
58.
is the crossbow damage showing as -1? Are they flaming arrows?
Oh, the shield.
Oh,
The
no, wait.
shield reduces the base damage when it's a shield hit.
She got
Yeah, but
healed
those
from the
aren't
arrow.
shield hits.
Okay, because we got some down here where it's actually 12 damage and minus. So you're saying that the shield brings it to -1.
No, that's not how shields display usually.
Yeah, it's
It is
hit
against
in the
arrows.
body and shield. It'll read where it says in the body and shield when you block with the
Right.
shield. So I don't understand why there's a -1 damage there.
Does she have a protective force on her?
Ooh, that
I
could
don't
be
believe so.
No, she
I don't
doesn't.
see anything.
She's lucky.
Oh, that might be it.
Luck is a negate, just like a
Yeah,
theory.
luck will say at the end. The
Yeah, I'm
end
not-
negated the luck.
I don't know. I'm not sure why that -1 popped up.
I
What's
don't
her
know
heroic
either.
ability? Is that doing something?
I think it
No.
is, because the shield protection is around 22, so 60% less of that. Or,
26.
No, sorry, it'll be 11 down from that.
Sorry.
I don't believe armor piercing reduces shield prot.
Yeah, I
Armor
don't.
piercing, I believe it does.
I mean, like-
and the
No,
shield.
no. Shield proc is added to total proc, so armor piercing does negate it.
I
Or
kind of
me-
like this
me.
because we actually have one. We got 9 guys in here that are really good players, and yet we don't have a answer for this. it kind of shows you that even if you've played this for a long time, because we've got, I mean, tons of experience in here, there are still questions that we don't have answers to.
Oh, for
And-
sure.
So
And I mean, I'm sure we
So
could probably
was
sit
the,
here for a while, but you know, it's kind of interesting that. And I mean, if you've got the answer, I'm sure somebody could put it in the comments as to what this is, and maybe we could get some viewer interaction from that. 'Cause I'm kind of curious about this. Now,
I can
one
give
thing
you a
is,
big theory.
Marco will have the details on it. I think so. What was the shield protection again? Sorry for that charcoal
26.
shield. It was 26. Okay.
26.
I believe that the normal piercing effect, the 20% effect, doesn't affect the shield, but the armor piercing effect for 50% does.
Correct.
And that 13, after it's been halved by armor piercing, is actually reducing from the original base damage being dealt from crossbow fire.
Wait, keep it where it is. Go back up.
okay, I'm sorry. Is
So
it's
I
good
believe
right
that-
here?
That 13, so the half of the,
Yeah.
the charcoal shield's parry or protection, sorry.
It does. It does
is
seem
actually
something
being
to do with the
subtracted
shield,
directly
is my
from the
guess.
base damage.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
if it is 13 minus 12, that is how you get the -1.
Right,
Yep.
but
And
what
there's
I'm
like
saying
minus
is, if you
2.
look at the screen right now, you got -1, you got -2, and you've got 12, and you've got 11.
Yeah, that I don't know.
So yeah,
So I'm
it
not
seems
sure what's
like
happening.
this.
Is there any
yeah.
effect on that specific crossbow's damage? Is it tied to strength with the crossbow?
There's 12. Are there any 11s here? Oh, there's
Oh,
11.
oh, he has
He has
strength
crippled
of he has strength
Ah.
of giants on some of his crossbows. No, he has strength of giants on some of his crossbows. Go click some of the ones at the front. Not that
Yeah.
one there. 14 strength. He has strength of giant on his crossbows.
So I think
Okay.
that's it. I think.
That's where we're getting the variation from.
Okay,
And
that makes sense.
And so with factoring in that variation, that makes the halved shield proc minus the damage of the crossbow -1 standard.
Okay, yep, that does
So
it.
we
That's
have
pretty
we
cool.
have figured it out, but that is not normally how shields work.
Nosy,
I
can
think
I
it's
come back to you
specific
real quick?
arrow
Because
fire.
you're the one that said last time that this wasn't worth it, but it looked like it was worth it this time. Have you changed your opinion of this?
Well, with knowing the specific situation where Van doesn't have magic support really, and is just going to be fighting against crappy troops, I think that is going to be more effective there. But put it up against any real magic, and it's likely to just straight up die.
Fallen, do you think that you should make all of your heroines wear exactly this gear set because this worked this one time?
No, I still stand by the fact that it, like Zan said, give it a Frost brand, or since it's Alma Fire brand, and a Vine shield, or an Oz shield, and just send it against PD and just hope it doesn't run into an army.
GC, how much do you nurse and protect your heroes? Because this is a national hero. How much do you nurse and protect them, and how much do you risk them?
It depends entirely on what hero it is. This hero here, the heroine, is honestly not super incredibly valuable. She's basically just kind of a mid-high grade thug chassis. There are other nations that get heroes that you want to just cherish and protect with your whole, everything. Like, middle-aged Phlegra has a hero who is an old mage that has astral magic and is the only thing in the whole nation that ever gets astral. Early age Ulm has Athelwulf, the Maker of Heroes, who is a similar kind of magic-based hero. Those guys you absolutely want to protect from harm and keep around for sight searching and forging and casting spells. Heroes like this, if they die, they die. It's not a big deal.
Zan, we were talking about this the other day, and just like having that fear of losing. I mean, with heroes like this, I mean, would you send her out on a raid, or would you keep her with an army?
If I really want to go into detail, I'd say everything GC said. A hero like this one is not particularly useful, but there are certain nations that have heroes that you put everything impossible on them so they don't die and you don't fight with them.
Although
Well,
I do have to say, there is one type of quote-unquote hero that you absolutely must gear as heavily as possible. That's the Lumber Construct. When you get the event that spawns a Lumber Construct, you're contractually obliged to fill all its gear slots and send it out to raid.
What
This
about
is
peasant?
correct. I will back up GC here. You are obligated.
it is tradition. But
Okay, so
does Ulm have nature access normally?
nature
No,
one's
but
not.
this is MA, so nature mages are not a dime a dozen like EA, but you're going to find at least one tribe mage.
In one? Okay, I just wanted to just ask. Was Ulm actually?
Not natively, no. They have to find an indie.
So sometimes
Grippa,
heroes can be your path access.
That's true.
Yeah, we got Hobergs, Grippa. Are Hobergs any good?
If you can mass like 7,000 of them, yes. Because they're size 1s, you can fit 6 crossbows per square and just kind of swarm people with crossbows.
Okay, so you're talking the crossbow ones.
Look
These
at
guys are
that
the
defense.
Oh,
Bergmasters.
these are the swords.
Look at that defense skill. Oh,
Yep.
these are like Macarta on steroids.
Yeah, they are amazing. So here's the thing that I would recommend for memeing Hobergs. You know the spell Marble Warriors, 2 earth for Stone Skin? Or no, it's not Stone Skin. I think it may be Steel Skin.
No, it's stone
I
skin.
No, it's Stone Skin.
Yeah.
Marble is a rock.
Yeah, so just follow me here. Just give them Strength of Giants, give them Legion, then follow it up with Luck because they only have 5 HP and Marble Warriors, and those things will just like stay there and kill anything for a very long period of time.
They're
While we're
Macarta
at it-
on steroids. What do you
While
want?
we're at it, might as well cast anti-magic, gold warriors, gift
Army
of
of gold.
flight, weapons of sharpness, stuff like that.
I'm just
This
saying
is my
they're-
favorite. I love when there's arguments in the questions chat, and then they start throwing out like enchantment 9 answers and like alteration 9 answers. Oh yeah, you should just put
Yeah, for real.
army of gold
Oh,
on
very
them
cool.
and
Wait, what are mages?
that
Yeah.
unit.
You'll learn one day, Grippa. It's okay.
Right. All I'm saying is that unit is one of the best buff holders in the entire game.
Yeah, well, any single tile one still hits six at a time. So Iron Warriors and just the simple luck spell and that, and they already get pretty beefy.
Yeah, and then when you go with
Cast.
the big AoEs, you'll get all of them in one casting.
Yeah, but you
I
can
think-
do that with any troop too.
Chipotle, why? Because I don't want to spoil too much, but Ulm wins this battle. How does Ulm win this battle?
Mages.
Okay, how
They
so?
break- so in the beginning, your troops are there to win fights, and by, I mean, I don't know if I have an exact sense, but maybe I'd say turn.
I don't mean to interrupt you, but you probably want to get a little bit closer to your mic.
Yeah,
Oh, sorry.
make it a lollipop.
So in the beginning, your troops are there to win fights, but by turn at least 20, they're there to kill things and stall. Your mages are hopefully going to be doing most of the work through either summons or evocations. And barbarians are pretty scary. They are one of the few indies that can like really threaten MA Ulm. But at the same time, they have pretty low morale and they're undisciplined. So a couple of blasts of iron darts will do quite a few morale checks. And
Look at all those damage just from one round.
yeah, there we go.
The big thing is no
protection
shield
either.
and no prot.
Yeah, they have no shield.
Yeah.
And no helmets. No
Yep.
helmets.
Y'all may say things, but I've recruited indie slingers to deal with big bar provinces before.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Anything.
no helmets,
Oh, yeah.
man. If you do blunt damage to the
Arcana
head, a
mercs as
barbarian
well.
will die.
Mandar, what do you think's gonna cause this army to die?
I don't remember which army died, but
This
if I
one's
had to
gonna die.
guess, all right. Let's see. Those barbarians are probably going to rout the moment they make contact. They only have like 9 morale, and they're taking huge attrition just from like blade wind spam.
But won't these guys win?
I
I mean,
remember
like,
them only having.
oh god,
Yeah.
these guys only have 5 hit points. These ones have 12.
Yeah. After that, it's probably just going to cascade with Van Heem not having enough critical mass to handle. Are those flail Ulmites? Because those are gonna hit like trucks. Yep, they have flails.
I mean,
They're gonna wrap. They're gonna kill things. It's gonna route cascade.
Yeah, I'm guessing they'll barely touch the front line though.
yeah, because they're throwing Iron Blizzard into them,
Yep.
and the mages are getting like
Every,
mages are
every
killing, like,
instance of
contact.
damage is a morale check. Yeah, every instance of damage is a morale check.
So, does someone want to explain what makes flails so special?
2 attacks.
Yes.
2-handed. 2 attacks. super high attack skill. They just beat the shit out of you.
Well,
Mandar, do you what do you so these guys get, you said they got 2 attacks?
Yep.
Yeah,
they hit
2
twice.
attacks.
Then what's the downside of them? Why wouldn't you just take all of these guys and none of the other ones?
They do less damage than other two-handed weapons per hit, so high protection can block them, kind of. And they really do a number on your defense skill. So there's no dodging when you have a flail. Look at that, 4 defense skill out of the box. That's bad.
Nosy, why would I want to take these guys instead, the battle axe guys?
If you need to punch through high protection, 22 damage versus 16 or so.
Yep, that's the
You
answer.
know what? I would actually say you don't. I would actually say you do buy pretty much all the flail guys. You can drop Strength of Giants on them and bring them up to 20, and that's good enough for anything that troops are really going to kill in the first place. Things that 20 damage 2 attack flails won't kill are better dealt with your mages.
We did the math on
Or the
this. It was
Guardians.
really interesting. And the math says the flails are not as good as these guys are. Once you put Strength of Giants on,
probably wrong.
it's because of the slashing damage. Once you hit 10 damage, the slashing damage punches the damage up another 25%. So you're dealing something like 20 damage
30%.
against it. Yeah, so
Slashing
you
is a 30% increase.
you end up doing like 20 damage with Strength of Giants compared to 2 hits of 8 with these guys.
Yeah, but that's after protection, and that can also be capped out since limb hits cap at 50% of somebody's health for damage. With 2 attacks from a flail, you're much more likely to kill someone.
I agree with Mandar. 1, because limb hits are shenanigans, and 2, the flail has a +2 attack against shields.
Exactly. So you're a lot more likely to hit with the flail against most people's chaff infantry.
Nosy dude, can you go into limb hits and what exactly are they talking about?
Oh, basically, clearest example you can think of is when you've got anakites that are swinging their 30 damage plus or 40 damage swords around that should be one hit killing 13 HP units. They get a hit on the arm, and then all of a sudden that's reduced down to 5, and they lose an arm.
So this 30
So-
damage could only technically be 5, and the human that
Against
just
a
got
limb.
hit by it, they'd still be alive.
Correct. They'd still be
Right.
alive, but they'd be missing an arm or a leg or whatever else.
They gain the affliction. So to go specifically into how limbs work, when a unit of equal size to another unit, a size 2 hits a size 2, the hit location is divided as a percentage across the entirety of the unit. That covers both of their arms, both of their legs, their head, and their body. This changes if they're missing something. Like if you have a headless unit, for instance, then you can't hit the head, the percentage adjusts.
Actually,
Yeah.
you can. At least as of a few versions back, at least, what's his face, the headless Soberg hero, can in fact get hit in the head, and that cost me an arena fight. I was mad.
What happens in that case?
He takes head damage. I don't know what to tell you. He doesn't. He's not supposed to have a head, but he has a head. You can hit him in the head. I don't. The
Okay.
winter. This game is literally unplayable. Fix it.
Yeah, okay, that's a bug. But generally speaking, if you're missing that limb, if your unit doesn't have legs, for instance, because it's a ghost, you can't get hit in the legs.
Fallen. Who is better, Ichthyeids or Shark Tribe?
I mean, you're comparing 1 attack with size 3 stats versus 3 attack berserkers with poison weapons. It's the 3 attack berserkers with poison weapons.
But he's got a net.
It doesn't matter.
He's also outnumbered 2 to 1. He's outnumbered 2 to 1.
Ichthyeids
don't
are
you
size
believe
2.
in your
Ichthyeids
fishy
are
friends?
size 2.
We will see how this goes. I have faith in the fish. Okay.
They are fat sacks of hit points going up against super attack tents.
Well, that was
Jeez.
close. Okay, they almost killed. Oh, they got a guy at the end. Okay, see, they got one. Ichthyeids is superior.
Of themselves.
By the way, this is the
Now-
exact reason why I didn't send skeletons down there to get those provinces. It's just-
Okay,
It was a
theoretically,
Urmor. Skeletons are worthless to you. Just kill the underwater, and you could be raiding Van from 3 directions instead of just 1.
Okay, and I want to point out to you that I have a very limited amount of Mountain Kings, and I'm not spending Def Gem summoning anymore. I'm not losing any of them to Shark Tribe.
okay. So real quick, we have Balin, our Aramore master here, is going to tell us what he's talking about strategically. What are you talking about with this? Like, you're talking about 3 fronts and stuff like this. What would you have done in this situation?
So if we go back like 10 turns, the Ermor Van border is a 2-province tile choke point. Novell has been forcing a giant fist of lictors, undead knights, and skeletons down that road straight onto that farmland fort in Van's capital. If he had been raiding back the mountain pass and attacking through that lake, possibly could have encircled some earlier Van armies, thus completely wiping out Van much earlier.
I did want to hit with you, Novell. Why did you ignore? I mean, one of them's even in your cap circle. Why did you ignore the water?
Okay, so here's the big issue with Aramore. The leaders that I want to use to take things efficiently are not aquatic. That is the big issue. The censor and the priests, none of them are aquatic. The ghosts and the mound kings are. I don't summon mound kings, so I have to wait for one to randomly appear. So it's a chance per fort based on the level of the fort and having a temple in the fort that a random mound king will appear.
Novell, I saw 2 Mountain Kings go underwater. Like 2
Yeah,
turns.
no, that was a miss. We went over that last episode. That was a complete multi-move bug. That was not something that anyone wanted to do. But my problem is that even if I brought 160 skeletons down there to fight what at the time was like 60 Shark Tribe, like those skeletons are going to get massacred, dude. The skeletons have a 6 attack, 7 defense. The Shark Tribe have 11, 12 berserk, and weapons get penalties for attacking underwater. Flashing and blunt weapons take penalties for being used underwater. Piercing weapons are the only weapons that don't.
Okay, I want to go real quick. GC, I want you, GC, I want you to tell me, you've got this large force here that's pushed into Vanheim. Alm's capital is back here. He's got 1 tile before he's cut off. Do you keep on pushing or do you run away?
In that position, I would actually probably keep on pushing, and I would see if I could get somebody from that fort back there to guard that 1 tile. Because that army isn't going to be able to pull back anyway at this point. I mean, just looking at where armies are, you've got that Van army up on the mountains, you've got a raiding thug down in the snowy plain to your left, you've got the fort right next to you. Like, those boys ain't getting home, so they need to try and do more damage while they're there.
Zan,
they
how
are
do you
effectively
counter
encircled.
this, dude?
How do I counter this against
No,
elves?
sorry, Zan. Zan, let's pretend that Zan, you're Van, and you're gonna counter this. How do you do that?
That big pile of almost infantry.
Yeah, well, I mean, because he's just gonna keep on plowing through and being annoying and taking. I mean, that's 170 gold province there.
Has Van researched Conjuration 5 yet?
Nope.
He's at Conjuration 3.
I'm not even sure he gets it before the game ends.
Cry a lot if you're Van.
Okay.
There's no easy way to do it.
Where do you think this army's going to go next? Do you think they're going to go? I mean, they've got, I'm assuming, 4 choices. Do you think they're going to go backwards or forward based on what you've seen? Because you've seen more turns than anybody else at this point.
I haven't seen the Ulm player's movement often, but if he takes the juicy train of thought, I would go blow up that temple. That's juicy, obvious target.
Would you take these troops and counter it?
As Vanheim?
Yeah. Would you defend that?
Oh heck yeah, that's a trap.
170 gold in a temple? Hell yeah.
That's one of the few moments where you can almost bet anything you have, Ulm is going to take that move, and you can plan for that perfectly.
Chipotle, what would you do with this army? I don't think that. Would you be trying to push into Ulmish territory, or would you be on the defense at this point, knowing that you have to deal possibly with Airmore as well?
I would definitely be on the defense around my cap circle. In fact, especially because my way of thinking is that expecting them to try and go to, if I were Ulm, I would actually try and sit on Vanheim's cap for a turn. I don't know if that's the best play, but that's how I think about it. I don't expect them to be patrolling. So since that's how I think, I would try and keep my cap circle clear with that army. I don't want to be raided and be losing resources, considering that I'm dependent on these really expensive Einheirs to cut through Olma's chaff, and I don't have any research, so my chaff are the only thing I have.
Excellent. Grip, you are the statist player. You're down here. How much of this did you know was going on?
I had a scout in every single one of those provinces.
So you could see everything. Is this what is your next move in this game?
I am eating Ashdod. It is mine. I have declared it. I am going for it. I was upset to see Ulm's flag there, but I was undeterred to just go for it myself.
So at this point, you're getting ready to actually invade Southern Van. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, Fallen, you're sitting here as Van. Do you defend your southern border with this army, or are you sending it back home to defend the motherland?
So Gazlov actually, see that northern Scalaria fort right there? Gazlov has a scout in that right now.
Okay.
Yeah, that big, giant skeleton right there. So Gazlov probably doesn't care what Ulm does because those skeletons weren't there last turn. So he knows Ulm is about to die. So he probably, I would focus on dealing with my northern threat and just abandon Ashdod at this point. Ulm's down there messing around, and Satis looks like he's about to jump me.
Okay, just for reference, Ulm did not mention that this army was on the border. I don't even think Gazlov mentioned that these armies were on the border. GC, how often do you look at your border to see troop movements?
Probably less than I really should, to be honest, but I try to do it every turn. I mean, because very often the only warning that you get that someone is about to jump on you is you see an army moving towards you. Ideally, you catch it before it reaches your border, and a lot of times you can actually stop someone from invading you just by having some of your own troops mysteriously appear in the province they were planning to attack. Which just kind of lets them know that you're keeping an eye on them. A lot of this, especially when you're playing in all skills games, a lot of it boils down to mind games. People who know that you're watching them are a lot less likely to attack you unless they're confident they can win anyway, in which case they're probably right. So, you know.
One thing I really like about the videos that I've watched of yours were that you always seem to have a good awareness of what's going on on your borders. At this point, is there anything that you can really do?
As who?
As Ulm.
Well, no. I mean, if somebody's got, what is that, 4,000 skeletons next door, they're going to attack you.
It's only 2,100.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay.
There's about
2,000
3,000 in the rear that he hasn't deployed yet, slowly moving their way up.
Right,
you might have been counting
everything.
Point,
yeah, so at this point, if you have scouts on your border and you look up one turn and you suddenly notice, oh god, there's 2,000 skeletons sitting there like sharpening their knives, they're going to attack you. So now the question is, can I limit this war or can I make him decide to go away? So, I mean, the things you can do at this point, either you try to jump part of that army with a whole bunch of Iron Blizzard casters and waste them really quickly to make him think twice about invading you. You could try to contact his neighbor on the other side and get them to attack him while he's busy. You have all these various options, but fundamentally, none of them are going to stop those skeletons from marching into your land.
I would like to point out right now, Scalaria has now become the tech leader, or is on tech parity with Ulm, the tech leader, and has mass flight.
They are not caught up to Ulm. They're caught up to everybody else. So Ulm has they've already got their lanterns, so they're up and away.
Yeah, but Scalaria has mass flight right now, so there is nothing Ulm has that stops.
Yeah, Earthquake is no longer effective.
So
now,
if Solaria knows that, then they're just going to walk right in.
So
how far away is Ulm from Firestorm?
Well, that's a good question. Nosy, what are some counters to this Scalarian mass?
Well, if they're dealing with mass flight, then obviously you want to be putting Storm up to prevent them from coming in on and dropping it on their back line.
What does that do?
It shuts down any flyers that don't have the Storm immunity tag.
Oh, it does right there. It says makes flying impossible. Okay. And how? Because does this get off before Mass Flight or after Mass Flight?
Well, that very much depends on what casters you've got available. If Scaleria is able to put up Mass Flight turn 1 and Orm was putting up Storm turn 2, then the skeletons can fly into the back before Storm goes up. But chances are Scaleria has to do that with a Communion. So they're going to have to do that second turn, and it's probably going to be the same for Orm if they can get Storm up at all.
And then what are
And
some
given
other
that they
options that
cast
we've
at
got?
the same time, I think Storm does go up quicker.
Okay. It looked like Storm is 200% and Mass Flight is 175.
Well, that's surprising, actually.
Yeah,
So
Mass Flight is
Nosy
actually
touched earlier that Alm potentially could Firestorm. Alm doesn't have great magic depth. Alm doesn't have great magic in general.
Yeah, but you can get a crystal matrix on a fire guy, and actually no, they all have fire paths, don't they? On their
yeah, they're all fire one.
master smiths. Yeah, they're all fire one.
You can get a fire.
So you can easily get that with a communion. You only need to be able to get to base fire 3 off the communion, then Phoenix power, and away you go.
See, I would say that on the most basic level, especially if you have low level research, I don't know what Olm's research is at this point. Obviously, he's got some high level research, but the very basic counter to huge masses of skeletons is banish spam and flaming arrows. If you can assemble like 500 shitty archers of some kind and cast flaming arrows on them, they will kill basically arbitrary numbers of skeletons.
It's
Now,
really hard to
Olm
do
does
that
not-
as Ulm, though.
Yeah, Ulm doesn't have national shitty archers. Ulm has expensive archers that hit really hard, which are not good against skeletons. So you would need like a lion tribe province or something that lets you recruit shitty archers.
He's got a Jag Tribe Slinger province,
That would do
Oh
it.
yeah.
but he loses that. He loses it. It doesn't last long.
Yeah, well,
Mandar, why is it that he can't just use his Black Plate infantry against like mobs? I mean, doesn't he just? I mean, they can't hurt him. They do like 10 damage, don't they?
Yeah, they're not gonna do a ton of damage, but every once in a while they'll roll high enough to hurt the Black Plate, and that's really enough because we're talking a few thousand skeletons, which is still like 100 skeletons for each Black Plate infantry, and the Black Plate aren't really going to be able to kill so many skeletons because they're going to go into a coma after they swing a few times. Because just look at their encumbrance.
A Black Plate infantry standard, it fights for 20 rounds before it falls unconscious.
Yep. And
So-
as they get more tired, the skeletons can land more critical armor defeating hits and get through the high protection. So when you have a few thousand skeletons, eventually you can crack through. It happens.
I mean, 50 versus 1,550. I mean, I'm assuming that they're going to get a little tired before the end.
Yep.
I mean, honestly, if you're not going to be doing battlefield spells to get rid of mass amounts of skeletons, there isn't a good troop type that's not a super combatant for doing that. I mean, you can buff Black Plate infantry up to a really strong amount with like Marble Warriors, and they'll last for a long time, but they're just a wall. You still need something to actually kill the skeletons. And remember that Scaleria isn't like Aramor. They are backed by a mage line. Your guys will die to the mages.
This would be a really good time to wheel out that heroine. Because
that's true.
she has that fire shield. She can cast personal regeneration. She has high protection. She could actually do a decent job as a thug against these things, especially if you fluffed her up with nice stuff like Iron Will and whatnot.
Body Ethereal
She
would be
has,
great.
she has plus 4 MR from an item, so she has
Up until Scaleria Communion enslaves her mind.
Well, yeah.
She's got 20 MR, so
Oh god,
he might. So it might be like one turn, one battle. I would like to point out she is 3 turns away, and she is still surrounded by Van. And Gazlov is pissed with Ulm right now.
Why you gotta be such a Debbie Downer?
Now the other problem I have is that how many hit points does the heroine have?
18?
18,
So
but she can get another 30% from enlarge.
But if you have a fluffer, I mean, okay, so she gets 24. Your fluffer is 10 to 12 because they're Ulmish troops. You're almost at the you're almost at the HP threshold, aren't you?
No, other way around. The HP threshold is 75% of the total HP on the field. So if you have an 18 HP heroine on the field, you have to lose about almost 40 before you start making checks.
Oh, so it's actually so you have the 18 HP heroine, you have a 12 HP astral random master smith who's going to do body ethereal. Would that cause an HP route when he runs away or dies?
No.
No.
Keep your fluffers to 50% or less of the total HP.
Yes.
But she balloons up to 24, and then 75% of 36 is more than 12.
Okay, so he'd be good with at least with one fluffer or maybe even two, correct?
Yeah, I think 2 she would have to make a check, but it wouldn't be a hard one. Like she wouldn't have a penalty if they both died.
Nosy, you're kind of my point buff master here. What would you point buff her with?
Well, whatever's available depends. With thugs, it depends very much on what you're expecting to go against.
So she's going against Scaleria and your all.
Well, she's already got the fire shield from the charcoal shield. Not that you can point buff that anyway. But against skeletons, you want body ethereal. You want her casting mist form herself, and she'll probably do personal regen as well. That one could also be fluffed if you've got the casters available. But basically, body ethereal's the main one you want against the skeletons.
Should also probably put on Iron Will just in case she does get some mages tossing Enslaved Mind at her.
That's
I
true.
mean, if that happens, she's probably going to go, but extra
Correct.
4 MR would help.
Where's Iron Will? Sorry.
Thaumaturgy, Earth Magic.
Oh,
Yeah.
there it is.
Thaumaturgy 3, I think.
Nice. Okay, well
Yeah,
we'll see what
it's just plus 4 MR.
We're gonna see what she does. What she does the next turn, or what Ulm does the next turn. I think that the next turn also is gonna be Grippa finally starts charging in. So I should actually start being a very interesting game. We're reaching the home front at this point. So like I said, we're recruiting for the next game. We will officially start recruiting here in about 4 or 5 turns to to get the next one going. So if you're interested, let me know. Join up on Lucid server. Give me a ping. I'm also in the Reddit server as well. And so I want to thank my co-host for today, Balan. Thank you so much for joining up with us.
It's always a pleasure.
GC, thanks a ton for joining in with us.
Absolutely, happy to be here.
Grippa, we didn't get to you very much, but I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next episode for sure.
Just like my turns.
Hey, the less cowardly you are, the more that you get to talk. Mandar, thanks
never
again for
talk.
joining us.
Thanks for having me. Always a pleasure.
Nosy, thanks for your specialized knowledge. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, not a problem. Thank you.
And so I can actually say it on video. Thank you for answering all my questions for my games.
No problem. Hopefully it's been useful.
Novel, thanks a ton for giving us some undead insight.
Of course. And I hope to be in that next game.
No.
We might try to get you as a caster because you're always free, and I really appreciate that you're in so many videos. It really helps me get it's like, we had 2 guys starting today, and all of a sudden, when those first 2 start, then more people join in, and then we start getting a diverse amount of views, and I'm able to pick more minds. So I really appreciate you being here.
Oh yeah, man, I'm happy. I'm perfectly fine with that. I have all the time in the world. I'm in 24 games right now.
So, and
Christ.
Speaking of somebody being here right away, Chipotle, thanks for being one of those first people to get us going today.
Oh yeah, again, always happy to be here.
And Zan, you always get down near the bottom, and I for some reason I have a hard time seeing your name, so I will try to call on you a little bit more next time. But thanks again for joining us.
You're welcome. Don't worry about it. I like listening to all these expert players and their opinions.
Okay, guys.
Thanks,
Well,
Dan.
I will see you guys in the next one. Have a good one.